It's been 8 months, and literally everything in my life has changed. Working out at home was a core part of my identity for years. In fact, I even built an entire brand off working out at home with nothing but kettlebells and your own body weight. And that's because the pandemic hit. We were all stuck at home, limited equipment, we weren't allowed to leave, and out of necessity breeds innovation. I became an expert in working out at home in small spaces with nothing but a few kettlebells and your own body weight. And I stand by that style of training. It worked for me, it works for my clients, and it will work for most people for most of their lives. However, I no longer do it, and this is why. First off, I am not here to crap on working out at home. Working out at home is amazing. Like I said, my clients do it, and I practice what I preached. The reason working out at home can be so great is, well, there's a number of reasons. First of all, if you're a beginner, it's so safe. It's amazing to work out in a place that's not intimidating when you're learning something new. Also, if you're learning something new, you're probably going to be watching some videos to learn how to do it. That's just more comfortable to do at home. Working out at home is also just always going to be the most efficient option. If you're working out with kettlebells, they don't require any setup. If you are working out at home, there's no commute, there's no guessing if equipment's going to be available, there's no waiting for equipment. It's always just going to be the fastest option. And much like you, I am short on time. So for me, the overwhelming driving factor for most of the years I worked out from home was the efficiency factor. Also, I have a better kettlebell collection than like any gym I've ever gone to. So that helped too. I kind of built my own gym at home. But regardless, it's just so efficient. Also, as you probably know, I'm a content creator. I film all of my workouts. I film a lot of content. And filming in a commercial gym is kind of a no-no. So for me, it would be like doing double duty if I go to a commercial gym and then have to come home and film more content at home to then pump out to all of you. So I liked being at home because I was allowed to film. But if you are a normal person and not a content creator, you should still film yourself, especially when you're doing kettlebell exercises and learning, because you can then analyze those videos to see if you're doing the right thing and check your form. And you can also share them with a coach if you're working with that coach. So there's just so many reasons why working out at home works really well for most people. And personally, there were no gyms near my apartment. I didn't have any good options. And on top of working out at home being a preferable option in general, I just truly didn't have a good gym to go to. However, I started working out from home full-time in 2020. By 2022, 3 years in, I was sick of being home all the time. I worked from home, I worked out from home, and I was getting like 300 steps a day. I was never moving, never seeing anybody, and it was quite isolating. Even though I got a lot of mental stimulation and like I was drained mentally from talking to people all day with my job, I still felt like I really wanted to get around people and get out of the house. So I decided that even though there were no gyms by me, I was going to commute to a gym. I found a gym I thought was going to be perfect. It was beautiful little training facility, great equipment, aesthetically pleasing. You could film. They even had an outdoor space. The community was great. Vibes were great. I loved it. However, it was only a few subway stops away, and it was taking me longer to go back and forth to the gym than I was actually spending on my workouts. And I was doing workouts that I could do at home. So I was finding I was only going there on days I knew I wanted to film and that I had a lot of time and not actually utilizing it to its fullest. And just, still working out at home a lot. And then winter hit and that gym was not heated. And I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. And I couldn't tolerate it. I had no interest in being freezing cold, but also like on principle, I was like, I'm not going to patronize a business that doesn't feel like it needs to provide me heat in the winter. Like we're in New York. It was 40 degrees in there. My hands would be numb from holding the weights. So anyways, end of 2022, I quit there. And I was like, it's fine. I've been working out at home most of the time anyways. I'm just going to go back to what I know. Fast forward to early, like spring 2023, and I saw on Instagram that the only gym within walking distance of my apartment, the New York Sports Club, had undergone a major renovation. And it actually looked pretty good. And now I was like a member back at like 2016, and they made it impossible to cancel, like charged me for a bunch of months that after I had canceled. And again, on principle, I was like, I'm not ever joining New York Sports Club again. But I went and checked it out, and it really was a decent option. It was 10 minutes away. They had all the equipment I needed. It wasn't that busy for a commercial gym. Signed up, and I went. It worked out really well for a lot of reasons. However, you couldn't film in there. It was disgusting, and the vibes were low. Not like, there was like a community, some people I became friendly with, and got to know people in the neighborhood that way. But like all in all, low vibes, dirty, not my favorite place. But I was starting to dabble in training with barbells and not just kettlebells, partly because, like I mentioned before, gyms don't have good kettlebell collections. I wasn't able to lift heavy enough if I didn't use the barbells there. But I was not attached to this gym at all. And I also recognized that when I was started on this barbell journey, I didn't know a lot and I really needed help. So now fast forward, we're in 2024 in the spring. And I'm going to New York Sports Club most of the time, but still working out at home, 25 or so percent of the time, so that way I could film content. And just because sometimes it was easier, since honestly, a lot of the time I was just using the kettlebells anyways. And right as I am starting to decide that I need help with coaching with kettlebells, a sign goes up around the corner for me saying a new gym is opening up. I am freaking elated. I'm like, what is this place? This place looks pretty legit. Didn't look like a fluffy studio. Didn't look like it was going to be like Pilates or bar classes or something. It had like a tough kind of masculine vibe, honestly. So the moment that I saw somebody in there, I stuck my head in and I was like, what's the deal, guys? What's going on in here? And it turns out it was going to be a strength and conditioning gym, which means powerlifting, Olympic lifting, functional training, like all the stuff that I am either into or want to get into. So as soon as they open, I was like one of their first members. And it's been 8 months, and literally everything in my life has changed. And I know that sounds really dramatic. Like all I did was join a new gym. I didn't even start going to the gym, but it's true. First of all, just on like a very to play to the name of this video point, I have not worked out at home once in 8 months. My kettlebells are in a big old trunk over here, and the only time I go to them is when I am teaching. My home has become so much more of a serene environment because for my living room to be where I worked out, relaxed, ate, spent, every waking moment of every single day was really taking a mental toll on me. I wasn't doing well with it. So for me to now be able to say I no longer have to treat my living room as my gym has been huge for me. Now on a more workout related note, my workouts have changed entirely. I no longer train myself. I hired the owner of the gym to program for me, and he teaches me how to do things. And now I'm still doing my kettlebells and bodyweight training, but I've incorporated a lot of powerlifting, and that's been so amazing. My strength has more than doubled in all of my big lifts because now I'm able to work out in a way with tools that are helping me get a lot stronger. Kettlebells have a lot of strengths, but you can only lift as much as you can hold in a front rack position for most exercises. And kettlebells cap out in size. And most places aren't going to have 100-pound kettlebells where you can hold one in each hand for deadlifts. So my strength was really being limited by my tools. And it took many, 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 many years to get there, but I did. So now I'm not only getting stronger, but the way I'm working out is looking a little bit different. And outside of the gym, some things have changed too. Well, outside of my exercise, things have changed. I've made a lot of friends and we hang out outside of the gym. I have been exposed to a bunch of new trainers who are great trainers. And unless you're a trainer watching this might not mean anything, but there's so few good trainers out there who you feel like you can actually learn something from. And the trainers at this gym all have something I can learn from them. So there are a lot of learning from each other going on. And that is just on a professional level, so refreshing. Also, I've had networking opportunities arise. And just in general, I feel like I have this whole new personal and professional network of people that I never would have had I not decided I needed to get out of the house and finally find a gym. And this is really not relevant to anybody but me, but content has been great. That gym encourages filming, And not only do I film my workouts there and they look great because it's a nice, like, clean background, I am able to go when no one is there and film as well. So just like on a professional level, content creation level, that has been aces. I know that was just like a lot of personal stuff about me, but I do feel like there are some takeaways that you can have and apply to your own fitness journey. So, first of all, don't be afraid to take a step back from people and say, I need some peace and quiet. Like, kind of the opposite of my story, it is okay to work out at home if you just want to be left alone. That is perfectly fine. It is also okay to take a long time to find what works for you and to like break from the norms and maybe break up with the routine you currently have. There's nothing wrong with switching things up if you're trying to find what works for you. Now, this is going to sound real corny, but the heaviest weight in the gym is your front door. And I found that it was a lot easier to lift than I thought once I found a routine that worked for me. So kind of to my previous point, keep trying things because once you find something that works, it's not going to be nearly as hard as you think. I mean, trust me, I still struggle. Like half the days I go to the gym, I'm like, I don't want to. I'm like, oh, I'm going to see my friend, she'll be there. Or I signed up for this program and I don't want to disappoint my coach by not executing the program. You know, there's just like little things that are going to help contribute to motivating you and getting you through that door once you find the routine that works for you, whether it's a physical door or a metaphorical door. And finally, you never know who you might meet. You never know. You might meet a new friend, a partner, a professional contact. Like stepping out of your norm and trying something new, you truly never know who you'll meet. And that's a great takeaway as well. So on that note, I will see you on my channel for more chats, workouts at home, and workouts in the gym now, since that's my new thing. And I hope you have a great day.